Hello, this is Grace talking, also known as Grey Fable. You are currently listening to Arkenmore, D&D Noir. In this podcast, I run my friends through my Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Noir themed setting called Arkenmore. Atop the bones of the monster continent of Arkenmore, once exclusive realm of heroes and adventurers, a new society has been erected. Fueled by changing technology and powerful economics, the city of New Amphros stands as the crown jewel of the human empire. However, rampant corruption among government agents and organized crime syndicates have tarnished what might have otherwise been a golden era. We are currently in the Morgato arc. Content warnings for this episode include horror elements, sexism, and bigotry towards fantasy species. Now let's begin. Alright everybody, we are back. After a 1-week hiatus, we are already at our 5th session for our Arkenmore D&D Noir campaign, the Morgato arc. Insert music cue there. So, last session, upon his desperate escape from the warden's office, Callum fled once again in his spider form, and undaunted in his task, he continued sneaking through the ancient fortress of Morgato and navigated his way to the library. There, he stowed away in a supply closet for the night, where he reviewed the documents he stole from the office, namely the folder on the mysterious prisoner 277466. Information that the rest of the party has yet to lay eyes on. Then, under cover of night, he sneaks through the facility and located Carmen's cell. There he revealed that he had formed a theory about the nightmare that they all shared about the undead. That the documents revealed that prisoner 277466 was indeed a powerful mage, whose abilities were not suppressed by the null gas that disables the casting of the other prisoners. Callum proposed that this mysterious figure might be behind all the strange goings-on. After a chat and some time for planning, Callum retreated back to the library. The night passed, but not peacefully. Down in the pit where Maya and Koloth were forced to stay, they heard a strange, strangled cry in the night. And on top of that, the party continued to be plagued by strange dreams. Edward in particular was perhaps had the strangest, as he dreamt he was lifted from his cell by a sickly green light and was examined by 3 shadowy figures, the very same figures that had plagued his nights in the past. These 3 figures warned him that he must regain his ritual book, or else he will surely perish. They also instructed him to find his way to prisoner 277466. Then, upon waking, Edward had an astonishing discovery. He realized that his ability to read the thoughts of others was not suppressed by the null gas at all. Funny that. The morning came with a few more revelations. Maya and Koloth were unexpectedly released from their cold, dark cells down in the pit, returned to the housing with the other convicts. Carmen was also informed that Soror Patience, the facility chaplain, returned to the facility and was performing services for Longinoct, or the longest night, a holiday that takes place on the winter solstice that will be taking place now tomorrow night. And lastly, Warden Gareth Cromwell, during the day's lunch, made another announcement. According to him, the escaped convict, Callum Byrne, has been captured. And it's with that announcement in the lunch hall, as everybody is now enjoying their first meal of the day, as they have been, their breakfasts have been reneged due to the food shortage. Finally, everybody's able to be together again, minus the quote-unquote captured convict, Callum. Eat their meal and touch base.
Are we permitted to go outside with the prior incident that occurred there?
So, the warden did say that for the time being, people were not allowed into the outside to the recreations yard.
Got it.
However, they were going to be more lax about your afternoon activities. Suggesting you could go back to work you could possibly get a library pass or other kinds of perks, depending on how many credits you had earned.
Mm-hmm. With that in mind, I believe that the former inspector gave Carmen a number of passes, and I believe with each of those passes, we would have enough time for all of us, minus, of course, the escaped/not escaped convict, to make our way to the library. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Well, let's see.
Is that a no, Tyler?
That you were offered some extra credits by Hugh Gilt, Kolos's cellmate, when he suggested that you all should meet in the library to discuss things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I said it was 8 extra credits that he had to pass.
Yes, and I gathered 4. How many credits are needed to get to the library?
Hold up. We also rolled for credits?
Yes, you also have
Tyler and I each have 1, and you rolled a 7.
Got it. Okay, so I had 7 previously. Yeah, so I have 11 total now.
Ooh.
From my own thing. He's giving 8, which means... How many of us are there? Math is hard.
There are 4 of us.
5. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind...
That doesn't count.
That would be just enough, correct?
The casters are not actually allowed to go on afternoon excursions because it's too many resources to keep them guarded.
That makes sense.
Normally, if they want to enrich themselves with the library books, they will have to request them to be brought up to their cells.
Got it. How are we going to get Edmund in the loop then?
You write a message in a book and then have him check out the book.
Yeah.
And of course, Edmund has no way of communicating with anybody.
I mean, we don't know what he's capable of.
Of course not.
This would come up during either breakfast or the afternoon when we're able to.
Well, we're not able to intermingle is the big thing recently.
Oh, right.
That's why we're having this issue, is because the outside is now verboten.
Yes.
Is there more of... So I know you mentioned that there was more of a laxedness in the extracurricular activities. Are they still giving us very much assigned seating with regards to breakfast and lunch? Is it still very regimented therein?
Yeah, assigned seating in a way that you all are led in lines to your tables and made to sit in those lines. Granted, there's a lot of people there. There could be chances for you to.
Sure. I don't know if there'd be enough to get 4 of us to get the swapperoo. Not probably.
If you look to, Koloth is now reunited with his cellmate, Hugh Gilt, Private Eye. Yeah, he was looking over at you, Carmen, from across the room, and you see him mouthing library, wink, very obvious.
There's a furrow of her. There's just a mild wave of the hand. As we maneuver, go through the lines, is there at any point where Kolok and Gilt cross paths with Carmen and Maya?
You will have a chance as you are collecting your food. You're hot. It's today is just kind of weird. This this goopy chicken dish and dry mashed potatoes. as you like are clicking all of this, very much think of like school lunch food kind of stuff. And going back to your seat, you guys can pass their seats on your way back.
Carmen is going to, with mild, not even interest so much as just put down on the bench beside them 10 tickets, and is then going to make her way to where she and Maya are supposed to be seated.
You? Is that some kind of bribe?
No.
There is a single raised eyebrow, and we go to our seats.
Oh, he wouldn't say until you were gone, of course.
Oh, good.
I had the pleasure of talking with that dame just yesterday. We agreed to meet in the library to get to know each other better, he says, giving you another obvious wink. Waste the credits. Now, she was concerned she had enough credits, but clearly she had plenty on her.
Good thinking. Coordinating with those warriors seems like the best course of action for now.
Well, needless to say, he digs his fork into his, like, dry mash. I'm killed for some gravy right now, but needless to say, clink clink, there is a book I'm very eager to discuss. Gives you a very pointed look.
We've discussed this. If you expect something, you have to tell me.
He's forking through his meal, not even eating it. He's kind of shoveling it.
Oh, really? Well, for his part, Koloth has been eating with reverent fervor. So he's as controlled as a man can be while shoveling food in his mouth as physically possible. So while his table manners are immaculate, he very rarely pauses the eating. Despite the clearly canned, salty smell of the chicken and the dry nature of the potatoes.
Well, Mr. Koloth, they say that three's a crowd. He's shoveling his food. And, well, I reckon there's over 300 people in this room. If you catch my drift.
You can tell me later. Just...
Yes, there's a lot I'd like to talk to you about. Gives you a very significant look at the library.
At the girls' edge of the table, or wherever they are, Carmen would... She's eating quickly. It is very clear that she knows that we might not get food again, and we eat. We don't know when we're going to potentially have more food coming. In between bites, as she chews over, she would look over to Maya and say, "We're going to the library."
Maya is clearly savoring every piece. No, I don't want to go to the library. No.
Yes.
No.
There's a pause. We are going to the library.
But it smells.
Yes. We're going anyway.
Fine.
Good.
So,
And then we go back to eating.
Yeah, Specs added me and asked about finding a component to replace a sprig of mistletoe in order to create good berries so that y'all would not have to go hungry anymore. So, the sprig of mistletoe does not get consumed in the casting of the spell, which means that you could use a focus in the place.
Didn't we use Callum's focus, actually? Isn't that a sprig of mistletoe?
It's close. It is a branch of a white willow, and there is no rule against swapping focuses, as far as I can tell. It's not like it's imprinted on you, which is it'd be cool if it was, but not necessary. It's something that's imbued with
another staff.
Yeah, it's imbued with the same kind of magic that a ranger uses in setting anyways, which is spiritus.
Could I, with Dan's permission, break off a twig?
Well, you'll have to speak with Calm about that.
We'll have to speak with Calhoun about that in the library.
And according to the warden, they were captured. And why would he lie about that?
Carmen's brow is a little furrowed. Is Edmund around, or is Edward around?
Yes. Yes, he's
look
sharing lunch with you all.
Does he look worried?
How far away is Edward from the others?
You're probably around 20, 30 feet.
Edward seems to be eating just fine. He's kind of looking around. He doesn't seem that put off, that concerned. And when you do lock eyes with him, and he maintains that gaze, and you're looking directly at him, you're going to hear a familiar voice in your mind. Don't freak out.
There's a immediate tensing, complete stilling, and she was very readily shoveling food. The grip that she has on the fork that she these forks aren't metal, are they? Are they?
No. Well, let me think about that for a second.
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm like, wait, shit. It's like the Depression era. They might only have metal.
Yeah.
Wood forks everywhere.
It is. It's blunt.
Yeah.
It's blunted metal.
Yeah.
Which means, I think I did talk about this before, everything is blunted.
Yes.
But they can be turned into shivs.
Got it.
That's actually the primary source of the shivs in the prison.
Yeah, no, that checks completely. White-knuckled grip on the spork, the blunted spork that we have before there's the ever slightest denting of it before it carefully is straightened back out with a thumb. What? It's under her breath. She doesn't know if you can hear it.
Use your thoughts.
I didn't say anything.
Use your thoughts, not your words. Easier to just eat. You don't have to. We can talk. And you see him eating, and the words are coming out just fine.
Is this?
Honestly, not 100% sure myself.
What can you see? What do you know?
I only saw what you saw. I only know what you know, presumably.
What do you know of mine?
Of yours? This is new to me. Like I said, don't freak out. I'm getting in touch with it.
It is only the thoughts I give you?
Only the thoughts you give me.
There's a relaxing. It's minute. And slowly you will see her start to raise her utensil to her mouth again.
The only unnerving part of this, outside of, you hearing Edward's voice in your head, is how, while he is busy himself with eating, be it his own inexperience with the spell or inexperience with like this kind of unusual social encounter, he's still looking at you while this is happening.
There's a moment, and it's clear at first that she's actually trying not to look toward Edmund. Or toward Edward. I'm so sorry. I keep calling him Edmund, and it's because you're British, you fucker.
There's some cross-pollination from the names from the other setting. Trend setting, specifically for anyone listening. Trent podcast win.
Before she would look to him, and her gaze sticks. It's not comfortable. Before eventually, slowly, after she doesn't feel anything like a probe, anything like an attempt to actually glean what isn't meant to be gleaned, she would look back to her food and would say, how? No, how are you doing that?
I have suspicions, nothing confirmed. Again, I'm not 100% sure how I'm doing this.
There's a tightening of her jaw.
There's a lot to dig into, but don't have the time now. I'll just say this, and you can read into it as you please, maybe. Something to do with my father and his approach to magic.
Blink.
And we'll leave it at that for now. It's not important.
Another blink. Before she would say, Callum, they captured him.
They did not.
Or did they?
No.
They didn't.
No. You saw what I saw. It will happen. You'll be there. You'll be there. I'll be there.
You need to look into prisoner 3277? No.
The one with the private suite. Yeah, I'm aware of him. Don't know a whole lot about him. He never leaves his room, but he has a whole lot of.
If you can get into my mind, can you get into his?
Not if I need to be able to. I'm getting a feel for the restrictions of these abilities. I need to be able to see him. And again, don't be alarmed, but I've been trying to enter your mind throughout these proceedings to kind of get a feel for the range. 30 feet seems to be the sweet spot.
Callum, when I met, Callum has found a safe location for himself.
He would. Yeah, he's really good at that.
He's still here.
Yeah, yes.
We are going to the library. We will give you what information we're able to gather all together. Give me a book title that you think would be in this library.
Well, here's the thing. We can I'm able to do this. If you have something you need to share on the down low, I can just crawl. That's not a.
There's another immediate glare.
Carmen just glaring into her food right now.
That was. I apologize. I can speak with you in this manner again, without a reason.
I don't know if we'll have time.
Trying to smuggle information in a book that, while it's being handed off, guards may look into it.
All right. Well, we can hope that we have enough time. We're getting 1 meal a day, correct? Or is it 2?
It's 2. You'll still get supper.
Okay.
They cut back.
Okay.
They cut back by 1 so far.
They cut back by 1. They haven't cut back by 2 yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm used to modern day prisons where they would just cut back all the way to 1.
Quit your belly aching, you're not dead.
True.
I hate when
Carmen...
reality fucking trumps fantasy, but go on.
Carmen would nod and would say, then we will collect what information we can. I will let the others know that you can do. There's a pause. Distaste kind of settles.
It's
less. It's almost innate. She is not entirely comfortable with this.
It's, I mean, if it helps you to better understand it, to be comfortable with it, it's just magic. Different kind of magic, but magic nonetheless.
Magic is dangerous, but...
Oh, well, I guess they arrested me for a reason. I'm sure you can let the others know that I can speak with them in this manner. It makes things easier, especially if I just kind of, he pauses mentally when I talk to them in this way.
There's a pause, and it's almost hesitant before she says, thank you. Thank you. And the gratitude is disquieted, but it's genuine. And she'd keep looking at her plate before the thought would come, do you have anything you want to tell Callum?
I do miss the questions, the social interaction. But when he's ready to get this going, I will be as well.
There's a pause and a nod, and she'll take another bite of her food. Stay vigilant. Stay prepared. Mother protects. Try to keep an eye on the prisoner.
Of course.
He can do what you do. Of dreams. The null gas doesn't affect it.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Additionally, there's another pause. She's thinking for a moment before she says, Callum would like you to know that he is okay and he appreciates what you did for him in the warden's office. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Well, I keep turning. I suppose he would be there. Well, it's good to know that he didn't catch me betraying him. Yeah. No, it's good. No, it's fine. It was always gonna go that way. Thanks are necessary. I feel that this again. It's pleasant. Pleasant. I'm making it weird again. I apologize. It's different.
No, that is understandable. If Maya was gone for the night, and you don't expect for the quiet to settle, but it does.
Yeah, well, about that, again, don't freak out. I'm going to use this connection. I do feel a connection. That's not a pickup line, I assure you. It is a mental connection. I'm going to test its limits. Again, don't freak out. To see how long it lasts, and once this connection's formed, how far away I can be before that severs. So
there's a blank. And a vague sense of agreement, even if she doesn't say it.
Yeah, I just wanted you to be aware that I'm going to be right here.
There's a pause. Appreciate the candor.
Of course.
So, Carmen, what do those potatoes do to you?
They're so fucking dry.
I mean, I know they're not the best, but at least we're getting some. Do you know what they fed us last night?
Nothing. I had to feed you a biscuit.
I know, exactly. You should definitely be happier with these potatoes.
For the first time, there's a softening and almost a smile. You're right. And she'll continue to eat.
Occasionally, as it's like to double check the connection. These potatoes, huh?
They're food. They're food. Eat while we're able. Callum says that we might not have much food soon. Have you ever gone hungry, Cheekbones?
More often than I'd like to admit, yeah.
Good.
Even on the outside.
You're going to probably need to rely on that, depending on when the monster comes.
That's true. At least it'll happen in the cafeteria. I'm assuming we've eaten them.
We might not want to be in the cafeteria. There aren't any ways to exit the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah, I imagine why you wouldn't want to be in the cafeteria, considering.
You are so lucky you were over there.
I apologize. I was just trying. Look, I'm just trying to find. I'm sure we can change that fate now that we know what we're dealing with ahead of time.
All right. Also, I don't know if your guards have changed or if you hear anything of them, but something is down below. Maya knows more. I'll get more information and pass it on to you.
All right. Will do. But likewise, if I learn anything more about our prisoner.
That'll be enough. She doesn't seem entirely comfortable with this connection, but it's good enough. She's more comfortable with it than Gilt's flirting.
That wasn't flirting, sweetheart. I talk like that to everybody.
Yeah, he and Koloth have a very intimate relationship.
Bisexual King, Inspector Gilt.
The power of the bisexual private eye.
Right. They trust each other deeply.
They were cellmates.
Yes,
And
shared
they were
ownership.
cellmates.
And they were cellmates. According to the 2024 Polaris Handbook, the awakened mind ability that Edward has access to lasts for a number of minutes equal to your warlock level, unfortunately.
Yes, I'm well aware of that, but he's not aware of that, but he will learn shortly.
This was just done. 2 minutes
After
and bam.
3 minutes, 3 minutes, that connection, you can feel it in your mind. It's like this kind of weird twinge in the shape of what you'd imagine Carmen to feel like in your head. Probably something kind of block-like and very red. Dissipates. And you're free to deal with anybody you feel like. Within 30 feet.
You know what? Edward has a better read on Carmen than he has the Hob and the ranger whom he saw in dream and in reality viciously assault people. But yeah, having Carmen divulge what he can do before he does it would be ideal. But yeah, he's gonna keep an eye on things. He's gonna eat. But again, Edward he's dream pilled. Is like, this is gonna happen.
Maybe we don't want it to happen the way that it did.
Well, Carmen, of course you don't.
Carmen, it was nice knowing you, but
Maybe we shouldn't attempt to barricade the place that only has one exit. Just a thought.
Do you mind if I ask you a brief question about the circumstances here in the lunchroom, Grace?
Please go ahead.
There's a certain Randall Hunt who's probably less than happy to see Koloth nearby. I would like to know what his response is to Koloth being near, because there are some words that we should probably have.
Oh yes, Randall Hunt, everyone's favorite, human supremacist gang leader. When you come back, you notice that your old friend Hunt has got some very clear bandaging on his body. He was apparently after that scuffle treated in the clinic and returned. He and his cronies have been whispering to each other and casting glances back your way. You see there's something on his face. He looks at you. Befuddlement for one. He's seen you get thrown in the pit pretty often. Never have you seen you get thrown back so early. With your insight, you notice there's a hint of concern as well. And of course, they're the overt kind of tough guy look.
Koloth will meet his eyes, and rather than do anything uncouth, will do a gentle tilt of the head to kind of imply, if you feel the need to try that again, feel free. Sort of like a kind of like, you know what you did.
He meets your gaze with he touches
Hard stare.
something on his person underneath he shifts under his prison uniform so you can see a bump, like he has something hidden there. And he turns back around and he whispers something to one of his cronies. He also looks over his shoulder at you, kind of like,
it's very important to make an exaggerated gesture of welcome. So the best way to not get killed is to show them that you're not intimidated, but you also can't dishonor yourself as a member of the Gazara. So decorum is paramount. So he stands up straight, acknowledges the gesture, and simply opens his arms a little bit as if to invite him. And then smiles and continues walking to his seat.
Koloth, this is a good point, I think, for you to roll an intimidation check, but instead of with your charisma, I think this would be a wisdom intimidation, where you're using your cool head.
True. Unfortunately, that's objectively worse. All right, so... that's very doable because of the circumstances. This is specifically targeted. Let me go ahead and try to get this formula correct.
Very nice. So 13 on the die.
I used one of my superiority die to use Koloth's commanding presence. The fact of the matter is that Koloth has to interact with people like this as part of his training, and what he's doing is not mocking, but it is letting him know that he's not intimidated, and I think that's very important.
Yes, and your superiority die was a 6 for a total of 22. And even without that, you still had a positive bonus, I see. So yeah, it is very effective. The crony mean mugging you breaks almost immediately and looks back. There is another glance over his shoulder by Hunt, and you meet eyes for a second. And for just a split second, his eyes flare. And he turns back to his plate of slop.
This action will have no negative consequences in the future.
Well, you already know that your prior actions probably would have negative consequences, considering that you angered the whole prison gang by very much humiliating their leader in a one-to-one combat. However, perhaps with that very effective display of, shall we say, steely nerves and lack of fear, perhaps that's going to delay any kind of pushback against that. All right, and is there any? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we can only hope.
Yes, a 22 is a pretty good roll. Yeah. Sometimes rolling good has consequences in games, but I don't usually go that way. Anything else anyone would like to do during lunch today? Who is present, that is. I imagine that Callum is currently feasting on a very honestly captured feast of roach or fly or whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, he got back to the cell in time to like turn back into a halfling and do like a long rest.
Yeah. I was just joking about the fact that you ate bugs and spider
I did do,
yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday, yes, we did do that. We are not above eating the refuse as needed. But no, the first thing that Callum is going to do when he wakes up in his awkward, like, supply closet is he's going to cast Goodberry. But we can deal with that later.
Maya's like, damn, if only I had some way to cast Goodberry like my father taught me. And then Callum's like, Goodberry. And then in a closet somewhere.
Bountiful harvest.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anybody present in the lunch hall? The cafeteria?
I'm good.
Okay.
All right. In that case, we will turn the clock forward a little bit. Lunch is going to end. We are going to go to the afternoon prison and downtime activity section. In prison, you have a few options. I imagine those who have the options are going to go to the library.
Indeed.
Yes, which is going to cost 5 credits a pop. Otherwise, you could earn the credits by doing clinic duties if the nurses like you. The metalworks, which is the most arduous and taxing activity. You could go back to your cell. Good task for somebody who wants to do a personal activity, like say, steal a fork and turn it into a shiv.
Maya, you're coming to the library. God damn it.
Stealing a fork is still an option for anyone who wants to do that, or a blunted knife. Just putting
I'd
it
like
out
to
there.
steal a blunted knife.
Okay.
Thank you.
Roll a sleight of hand.
It's gonna be bad. Really bad.
You're a Dex character. I believe that you can do this.
I should, yeah.
What has happened every time we've tried to get a shiv thus far?
Okay, that's fair. All right.
I seem to recall you grabbing a bludgeon from a guard quite easily.
That's not a shiv.
That's when she just blatantly ripped it out of his hand. She struggles with the subterfuge part of the whole thing.
She's very good at just taking. The issue is...
Like peas in a pod, as your people would say.
Only chase, no fetch.
Maya rolled an 11.
10?
The DC would have been 12, but I will say what happens for this is you get up, you go to put your knife into your sleeve. And as you do so, an officer approaches you. So when you put your plate away, he's like, well, it's actually not an officer. It is going to be a lunch lady, because this is a gendered society still. Lunch lady's like, where's your fork? Sorry, not fork. Where's your knife? Like, looking at your plate.
What knife? You gave me mashed potatoes.
Okay, this is the second roll of the day. She looks like you're confused. You didn't get a knife for the chicken? Roll a deception.
Oh no.
Oh, you're not getting deception either?
A 3.
This is it!
Oh no.
She puts a hand out and looks at you with the eyebrows raised.
Any way you could let go just this one?
What's in it for me?
What do you want?
It's like, turns her head, paw. Figured. Just give me the knife.
I mean, I could give it to you. I'm just a prisoner. It's not like I've got much. I could get you something.
Okay.
She very slowly, starts to hand it over.
Alright, roll another persuasion with disadvantage. Next time, get a proper bribe. Cigarettes or something. Give it to me.
Oh, you wanted smoking? Yeah, alright, next time.
As you make what might be a future deal with the lunch lady, you hand over your blunted knife. Some like another female prisoner next line who smirks at you. Is like, huh, wow, she even do a proper bribe. Look at this amateur. Sorry,
Maya's
Specs.
going to kind of kick him. It's not kind of kick him. She's gonna kick it. Just with the back of her foot, try and make it look a little stealthy.
So yeah, this is another of the woman's words residents. So you kick the other lady. She's like, bitch.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Well, we'll see who's got knives next time.
Oh, you'll get one for me? That's so nice of you.
I'll give it to you, all right. Down at her hip level, she's making a shanking motion.
Who is this? I apologize.
This is some random NPC. This is someone who was next in line to Maya, who saw her flub a roll to bribe the lunch lady, and made fun of her for it. So he's now fighting her.
Yeah.
There's no name for this person, no face. It's just this random person.
Someone who was just behind the line and saw Maya just awkwardly try to hide the knife. Is like, knife? What knife?
Mm-hmm.
I was eating potatoes. Chicken?
Carmen's just looking back with just this tired expression until the woman starts threatening Maya.
Well, I mean, that happened after Maya had kicked her.
Yeah.
She insulted her. Just take that.
Yeah, you know what?
Maya.
Really
Well, this is a
it
bad situation. How can I make it worse?
That's Maya's motto.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think my bodyguard over here would appreciate that.
Oh my god, you're
But if you want to give it to me, you're more than welcome to.
shove off and keep moving. Both of you.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I threatened your bitch. She says to Carmen.
No.
Hold on. We almost channeled the wrong character there. There's going to be just a stare. We're going to say, Maya, get the fuck over here.
Maya gives a very put upon sigh.
Really?
She started it.
I don't care. Come on.
Okay.
Last thing we need is another fucking fight. Just moving.
Does Edward see any of this?
Probably.
Like, Maya trying to, it's like, oh, shoot.
Steal a fucking ship!
All right, fair enough.
And then start a fight over it.
That's fair and fine. So after Edward sees this, and if he like comes up along the line, well, in his vision, Maya had a knife, right?
She did have shivs, yeah.
Clearly, she did not come upon this through her own means. Maybe he had to get it for her. Edward is going to try to hide his knife.
Make a sleight of hand.
The comedy of errors that happens right now.
The same rule, which is just
Jesus
one
Christ.
below the DC.
Yep,
That's all he has
that's
to
fine,
roll was
that's
12.
fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
He strolls up.
Yep.
Yeah. He strolls up and he's kind of like awkwardly trying to hide it. Him and the lunch lady, you know, they both see the effort. Oh, I'm sorry. Honestly, the whole thing, this meal is the closest I've gotten to, you know, tasting the outside again. I wanted a memento.
She's got her arms crossed looking at you. A memento?
A memento. I mean, you have a craft in the culinary arts. I should know. I have tasted many fine dining, and again, this takes me out of this prison and back to those streets in Arkenmore.
I don't think that's what it's called.
Arkenmore is the name of the continent,
Amphros.
so that's close.
New Amphros.
It's the name of the landmass. That's close enough.
Yeah.
So, I will say, it's a ridiculous thing to do in a local situation, however. Edward is a very handsome young man. This lunch lady is in a very tough profession. Very isolated, working on a small island for probably months at a time. She's looking at you. She knows that this is bullshit. She's caught in his eyes, right? Roll a persuasion check.
All right. Oh my god, I keep rolling garbage.
That was a natural 5. She gets caught in his eyes. She's
Yikes.
like, there's a sigh in her expression. It's like, ah. And she kind of snaps herself out of it, sees that you're wearing cuffs still, sees that you've got an escort because you're a caster. She's like, what are you thinking? like you have a knife? It's like, I'm sorry, dear, but I do have to collect. Oh, but you're so sweet. I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize. And he looks behind his shoulder at his escort. If nothing, I don't want you to get in trouble for this. I was a fool to even attempt so, and I'm glad you caught me before I made a grievous error.
Oh,
Please.
Oh.
He gingerly puts the knife on the tray and hands it to her.
Oh, thank you. Oh, such a polite fellow you are.
Nothing. Again, the meals here, as limited as they have been, are a true escape from this experience. I look forward to it. It's a reason I wake up. It's something I have to look forward to when I rouse from that isolation. I look forward to the meals, and I look forward to seeing you.
Oh, well, yes, it must be so hard up there. All alone in that tower.
It's difficult, but I manage, knowing tomorrow I'll be right back here.
What was your name?
Edward. But I imagine it pales in comparison to your sweet name.
Oh, well, it's nothing. My name's Irma.
I'm sure. What's the hey Bird? What's the name of the religion that you're attached to? The primary religion?
Goldra.
Yeah,
I'm sure among Goldra's angels, Irma is ranked highest among them.
Dear, you're such a sweet talker. You're such a sweet talker. she's just like flustered now and like laughing it off. Okay. We have to keep the lines working. Oh, what sweet.
Of course, I don't want to take another moment of your sweet time. Enjoy. And he's going to leave. He's like, all right, I have built a rapport.
Yeah.
This will need to be applied later.
Yeah, so even though you guys had failed rolls, both of these interactions will be remembered in the future, if it comes back up again. Okay, so you see look back, Irma's like she's got a hairnet on, she's kind of like tugging at it. It's like Edward. All right. I think that it sounds like everybody would like to, and correct me if I'm wrong, those who are given the opportunity would like to use their afternoon activity to go to the library. Anything from Edward before he's ushered off back to the North Tower?
Anything else from Edward? We're not given the same kind of freedom as Gen Pop, unfortunately. No, unless he's given cause to. By virtue of Calum or Carmen, he will allow himself to be escorted, especially after getting caught out with trying to smuggle a knife. All right. I don't know. Like I've tested my boundaries today.
Very well. Tested your boundaries, both. the mental, the emotional, yes.
W Riz lunch lady. It's crazy.
In which case, we bring Koloth, we bring Maya, we bring Carmen, and of course we bring Gilt as they present their credits to the corrections officers and request to be brought to the library, where you will all gather in that very dusty, somewhat damp, spacious hall. Yeah, filled with shelves of very old, disused books. There are tables around. There are places between the bookshelves where people can gather. There is a singular clerk who is kind of thumbing through what looks like a magazine at their desk, and there's a officer at the door guarding it. And Hugh Gilt will be like, alright, come on, I got a great spot at the back, over here. He's motioning you to a place of somewhat of some level of privacy behind some of these shelves. As I said previously, this library, it looks like it's spacious enough. It looks like perhaps it was always a library. Perhaps that was its intended purpose back in the day when it was built. It is kind of has a high ceiling. It's a long hall, cavernous. The books are largely donated from people from the mainland, or perhaps from libraries from the mainland looking to purge your older reserves. Most everything you'll find here is out of date. It is loosely organized, mostly alphabetically, rather than by subject, which makes it a little bit hard to parse through the collections. Not the greatest database of information. Sometimes in better times, there's been activities held here. There's some kind of crafts material. There's places where people could draw and maybe even paint. Some other kinds of little scrapbooking arts to keep the prisoners engaged in something, and etc. There's been some effort made, half-heartedly, in the past to make this a place for prisoners to at least be people. And then you see the remnants of that scattered about. Even some things written and created by previous prisoners. And Hugh Gilt will usher you towards the back, where there is this singular round table that's very uneven as it's crooked. One of the legs is offset as it's leaning towards the side. He kind of scoots some books to the side. He's like, all right. Now, before we begin, looks over to everybody present. Shame about that Edward person, huh? We'll see if we can't get some kind of information to him down the line.
He has a way to get information.
I agree. I think that it's possible that the warden is bluffing about the rat.
The warden
is bluffing about Callum.
Carmen would look to you, would lower her voice, and would say, "The warden is bluffing about Callum."
Right.
Let's
for Koloff thinks that he intuited it from how a ruler would act, and not necessarily from any inside information. So he looks to Hugh with a little bit of see, I know what I'm doing on his face, but he does not understand that she knows from magic that he's correct. It's more like, she thinks my insights are relevant.
Well, Miss Carmen
picks up a book and is absent-mindedly thumbing through it as her voice is low, but it doesn't carry, but it's very purposeful. Callum decided to drop by last night because he can talk as a spider. He is apparently still around.
Oh,
He has been hiding out in the library. I'm hoping that if he is watching, he might show up.
Gil looks looks around when you say that. He looks at his arms and the table and stuff. Oh, it's a spider.
If you're afraid of spiders, I would recommend getting over it quickly.
That also said, his cellmate, Edward, is capable of mild magic outside or despite null gas.
Gil looks at you with complete incredulousness when you say that. One eyebrow raised.
Apparently, additionally, prisoner... Me and not remembering this prisoner's number. I am so sorry, Grace.
You do not have to memorize a number. It's fine.
She would list the number. Is
277466.
277466 is capable of also doing that. Apparently, that is just a thing that some of these people can do.
This seems like a decent moment for this. Grace, from the ceiling of the library, on a kind of a wisp of silk, slowly down, onto the table they're sitting at.
And Carmen would shift the book slightly so that the spider has a hiding spot.
Let me roll for Detective Gilt real quick. Let's see. Nat 20. Ignore that. Those mods, you know. Nat 20 to perceive as you dangle down, line from he shoves away from the table. Click. He's like, oh.
A hand immediately comes and then slowly brings him back.
You shouldn't just scoop a man, if that is the man.
There's no need to be afraid.
Disrespectful.
I was...
Okay. When the spider says that, Koloff just straight up goes, body like shifts, and then he goes straight back to the original shape. And then he looks at the spider. It's unsettling to hear a voice from a creature like that. He will not see something.
Yeah, he'll the spider turns to regard you, Koloff, and you've never seen a spider tilt its head before, but this one is doing it right now. And you will hear the same voice say, Carmen didn't warn you?
He's already internalized that spiders can speak after that first moment of lacking decorum. So he says, he did, but your abilities are exceptional. And as such, I didn't quite believe it at first. It's wonderful to see you're well.
Lie, Mr. Kola.
He looks at you and gently lifts his eyebrow as if to say, I trust that you don't lie, but I require verification for extreme claims. Sort of like very gentle face.
There's just a bold stare.
Carmen, the spider addresses you. How's Edward?
He can do magic outside of the null gas.
So
he could do it inside as well, she said.
Yes,
that would be
that is what I meant.
Part.
Yes.
That makes a bit more sense for you to say.
Apologies. I did a misspeak.
We're all unsettled by these advances, but they indicate good things towards our safety.
He can read thoughts.
That one is more unsettling. You didn't say that earlier.
I'm not sure how much Carmen told you about prisoner 277466.
Haven't had much of a chance yet.
The face that he's making towards Carmen changes a little bit to be much harder. It's like, no, she did not. These types of cooperation can only work if we are all dedicated to the communal good.
I was getting to it. There have been quite a few very recent developments. And this one, mild gesture to the spider, woke me up at 2 a.m.
Then you've had time to ponder.
Oh, I've had time to ponder. That being said, it's better for him to say it.
The mental image of a spider clearing its throat is so funny.
Yeah, it's like the entire body of the spider moves like.
Now, you'll have seen jumping spiders, right? So you see this this very cute big-eyed little guy, the stripes and everything, twiddling around. Go on, Cal. I'm sorry.
I found some foils in the warden's office. doesn't have the man's name, but that's why Dr. Loy is here. She's studying him. She's keeping him drugged. He's some sort of powerful magic user. Something unlike normal casting. He's incredibly powerful. He can enter the minds of others and manipulate them, cause pain, brain damage. And he is unaffected by null gas, like Edward, apparently. That's odd.
The spirits of this place's ancestral inhabitants are also trying to communicate with us.
What are they saying?
You immediately asked the questions out of Kolos' depth. They are speaking in their native tongue, but I've seen them with my own eyes.
Ghosts?
The rest of the undead.
Ghosts are an ignorant way of speaking of them. The ancestors sometimes stay to finish their duty, and these have a message to share.
They're still
Maya.
ghosts, though.
It does indicate that some of our apprehension regarding the dream has been verified by an outside source.
Do we know anything about what is in the pit? Are we able to glean anything from Simon, or Specs, does Maya know Dwarven?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she very much knows. She's the one who's actually
Were
knowledgeable.
you able to glean anything?
So the dwarves were yelling Garodi. Garodi. It means like, well, swallow, maybe devour.
Consume.
This is where, Gilt comes in and say, well, garoti is a noun form of a verb, so it means the swallower or the devourer.
There's a head turn, raised eyebrow. Huh.
Well, so the dwarf, he came to visit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a bit chained up at the time. So I asked him to help me out, and he said there's no time to free any prisoners because the thing that devours, and it's coming. And he was going on and on about a barricade, which, isn't great, because he was saying it's not going to hold. And then he was talking about there being a vessel below that they're trying to get to.
Oh, a vessel.
A vessel?
Yeah. Something about a port? He was trying
down
to...
below.
Yeah, he said that there's a passage and you have to pay the king to pass.
Pay the king.
Pay the king. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I shouldn't make assumptions.
No, you're okay. It was definitely a he. You said something about fealty?
Fealty.
Does anyone
Taps his forehead.
know of the history of this place?
No.
Hold that thought. He stands
Alright.
up and leaves. You hear him rummaging through the shelves. And he returns. He returns with a very old parchment. He goes and he spreads it over the table. It appears to be some kind of old schematic. It's like, well, I did gather you all here for a reason. It wasn't just to talk. I wanted to show you something.
All right, I'm listening.
Well, you see, I have been, looks around again, evaluating my options here in this prison for a couple of years here, you see. Needless to say, my ability to, show the evidence of my innocence, greatly held back by the fact I'm in this prison. As I've discussed with Mr. Koloff, I've been looking for other means of egress. So I've been here studying for a little while, and I happened to find what looked like to be an old schematic for this fortress. Very, very old. Kind of forgotten about back here. Most of it is in the original ancient Dwarvish, so kind of inscrutable to the average eye. Granted.
Not to yours.
Oh, well, no. Yeah. I was saying, though, there's many kinds of magic, but he taps his skull, his temple. Well, the most powerful ones is here, in our bone box. So, yeah,
Don't check
so
notes.
Almost against her will.
So, what's below the pit?
well, funny you should ask that there, Toots. I've been reading a bit on the history of this here fortress. Did you know that the original inhabitants disappeared without a trace? A couple hundred years ago, in fact, it was. You ever hear about that?
No.
You're the wise head, not me.
Right, well, it seems that all the records indicate that there is no indication of where the original inhabitants went, that the original vessels were still docked. Now you see, if you look at this here schematic, the Sally port, the one that the prison guards use, is a recent addition. It's not the original one, which made me think that would indicate there was a different port somewhere else on this island, correct? You can't do off the shore. Yeah, it's too rocky. And perhaps the geographic makeup has changed a bit, but not in a couple hundred years, so I kept looking. And if you look here, if you look through the dungeons, it appears that there is a passage here. He runs his finger over it. Connects through here, see? One that's,
Underground cave system.
correct. He looks at you. Very good, Miss Carmen. Some sort of underground cave system that perhaps they use to dock their vessels.
Huh. Do you have any idea of the dimensions? How big?
I don't think that matters as much as the implication that the previous residents died before they could reach their vessels.
But there might still be, well, be years. They might
How
not even
long-
be seaworthy.
How long did you say it's been since they disappeared?
Well, granted, it's been a few hundred years, but this was the ancient Dwarven kingdom. I'm gonna pause here because I am missing my notes here on what it was called.
Oh
No, I just misplaced it.
Happens.
It's still here.
no! Okay, it didn't get like deleted or anything.
No. Blah blah blah. Well, I'll circle back around to that.
Yeah.
But see, so Gilt is adamant that this ancient Dwarven kingdom was well known for its engineering.
All right.
He's pointing to the schematics. He seems to be that there was some sort of engineering taking place in this fortress that was made to redistribute the water levels as they needed. For instance, there was a pump system, and he is also quite adamant that the vessels, if they're still docked here underground all this time, would probably still be very intact. At least maybe seaworthy enough for the short trip back to the landmass.
Back to land.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of the size of these vessels if they are still here?
Not a clue, Miss Carmen, but granted, it should be enough to hold. It's a rather large fortress, enough to hold at least a few dozen dwarves, I would think.
All right.
What's your plan for getting us into the dungeons in the first place?
Well, granted, that's the more difficult part. It's very easy to looks at Koloff. For some of us, it's really easy to land yourself in the pit. The isolation.
Randall would have killed me if I did not react in that way.
I didn't mean to imply anything there, pal. Just, some of us
It is
end up
not
there more
my
often.
intent to disrupt the order of this establishment. And he's like actively speaking over Gilt as best he can while maintaining his composure.
He,
Well, the trouble.
yeah, puts his hand on Koloff's shoulder. He's like, I didn't mean anything by it, pal. Just saying that certain people here get put in the pit more than others is all I meant. Depending on, well, where they came from.
Well, if there is a devourer, and judging by, she looks around, the dream that we all shared, there is, and that was what it was, we probably don't want to be feeding it prisoners.
Well, go ahead.
Just another, food for thought. I have a friend down there, and he told me that it smells of blood. Now, personally, I could only smell rot, but he's got much better sniffer than I do.
I concur. It did smell of blood.
Why do you say it smelled of blood?
Familiarity.
Let me rephrase that. Why did Maya not smell blood when you did?
It's a different room.
So there was fresh blood.
It's possible that it came from the ancestor spirit.
Well, Maya, didn't you also say something about a guard? Back in the cell.
Who's this friend of yours?
Simon.
His name's Simon?
Is he another prisoner?
No, do you want to meet him?
Sure.
Where are you staying tonight?
Where do you think he's going to be staying, Maya?
Probably best. Here.
Okay, I can send him up here. You may want.
You don't have... You didn't save any food today, did you?
What do you mean? I still have half that biscuit from this morning.
You ate the biscuit.
I
I
have some
have the
provisions.
biscuit.
They're magical if that's a problem for him, but I can conjure
There's a blink.
sustenance. Berries of a kind.
Wait,
That is going to be very useful.
how'd you do that?
I got him a
Magic.
thing.
Yeah, no, I get that. You shouldn't know that.
Yeah, I should.
Should know. What?
Yeah, you shouldn't know how to do that.
Why shouldn't I? I'm a spider.
It's a family secret.
No, hold on. Are you implying that
Wait, you know how to make-
magic?
I'm implying that a halfling that can turn into a spider might know a thing or two about other
Maya,
kinds
are
of
you
spells.
saying you can make food?
I can't make food. I don't have the stuff for it.
What do you need?
She needs a catalyst, a means by which to channel her magic. Right?
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's a sprig of mistletoe, but there's a way around it.
Which you already happen to have.
I do. It was a gift.
Any chance you got an extra leaf or something?
I wouldn't be able to provide it to you at this time.
Right.
If I did. Grace. Foci. Can they be...
Split.
Yeah. It's not something I can do right now anyway, because
Yeah.
it's on me and I'm transformed, but is that something that I would know how to do? if it's possible, if it is even possible.
You get the sense you might have to ask the person who gave it to you, or thing, or entity, or plural.
In the yard, you seemed pretty handy with a knife. I'm not, and I need this to do what I am handy with. If I break it without getting the proper permission, so to speak, it might not work anymore for either of us.
Luck getting a knife around here.
You could
You
try.
seem to have a handle on it.
I can assure you, I did not. That is why I was in the pit.
Well, you were in the pit because you grabbed policeman's baton.
And I'd do it again.
It's likely that I can get us weapons, but it'll take a bit of doing.
How so?
When I take this form, I can bring what I carry with me into it, so to speak.
All right.
But I can only do it a few times. I'll need to rest.
Okay.
It would require breaking into the armory, taking on my ordinary form, and then collecting the weapons, shifting again, and escaping.
There should be an armorer who checks inventory.
It would need to be timely. It would need to be.
Well, they lost the shipment of food. They wouldn't be too surprised if they lost weapons next.
And
Who
on
knows
that
what went
note,
missing in the meantime?
there was a report also that had been sent to the warden. Things are getting... Obviously, you all know they've cut our food. Even the warden's worried. They might really run out here. Things might get really unstable.
What are they planning to do? Starve us?
You've never
It
seen a
seems
spider
untenable.
shrug before, but now you are seeing it.
That is the entire. It seems untenable.
They don't need to
Sometimes.
starve us if they get us devoured.
An entire prison going missing. Well,
Isn't that what happened with the dwarves?
well, yes, and we actually have the history of that happening with the dwarves.
I don't
I
think they
feel for
value
the
our
warden.
lives very much.
No, not even remotely.
Well, they must. To continue giving us some of their limited food implies that our lives have value. Sure, those of us that are limited are suffering, but think of the rest. Having to make that decision must be difficult.
It is actually interesting, though, because they are still feeding us despite having lower food stores. Which
But
means
they
you're not
didn't-
wrong. Additionally, and this is a note, none of the prisoners have gone missing yet.
Well, have they? Haven't they?
I haven't noticed anyone gone, have you?
Well, about that,
What?
there was a bit of a... Well, Koloth, did you hear that this morning?
Which?
When we were in the pit, it sounded rather blood-curdling.
What?
I'm not sure if it's related to the spirits or the thing they feared.
What blood curdling?
There was a yell,
It
and the scent
sounded
of
like...
blood was refreshed.
Yeah, it sounded like a guard.
The guards have been. Okay, hold on. The guards have been the ones that are being swept out more and more readily. I've been noticing a change in guards, not in people.
Are guards not people now?
No.
That's disrespectful.
Pigs are pigs, Maya. Focus on the situation at hand.
I'm not sure what you mean when you say pigs are pigs.
Very offensive to
It's a city terminology.
It's not in my lexicon. This is a fantasy.
City terminology, a pardon. I grew up on Z Street. Occasionally it comes out.
I don't know what that means.
I'll explain it to you later, Mr. Carmen.
I've got no frame of reference. So then what's our game plan?
First, we will address how deeply unsettling it is to speak to a spider as an equal. Then,
That's something you'll have to inquire interiorly about.
of course. After that, my thoughts are that we stay aligned with Mr. Gilt's plan.
We have to go down into the pit.
The only way up is down. He doesn't say it with any relish, but you can tell looking at his face internally, he really liked it.
Well, about that. Yeah, he was asking me about how we would get down there.
Yeah.
You know, I shared this nightmare that we all had the other night.
Yeah.
If it were to happen, we've got a head up that no one else in this facility seems to have. Well, as much as it pains me to say this, I don't see us saving the day and rescuing everybody in this facility. Likely, if it's going to occur wherever we do, there will be kind of taps the table a little bit as he says, a severe loss of life, lots of chaos. It will keep the guards, well, engaged.
And we take advantage of the confusion.
We are going to need... There's a pause, and she is looking actively discomforted. We're going to need men to crew a vessel that is potentially large. We need to figure out how big that vessel is, how many crewmen are needed.
Sure, true. I'm now, don't get me wrong, Miss Carmen. I am, well, committed to saving as many lives as would be possible in such a dire situation. And more bodies could help us in such an escape, and we could, if we could convince enough people to follow us down to the pit when such an attack occurs, find that vessel, locate it, and make our escape with as many as we could. That does. Now, I always like to look at things from every side I can. There is another option available to us if such an event were to occur soon, as I reckon it might.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from this, well, this secret passageway, this other port down below that might exist, according to these schematics and my deduction, there's also the sally port that the guards use, and they always keep a vessel, a ship there, at least one in case of emergencies. If there's enough chaos accrued by this attack of the undead, and by these monstrosities, we could also stay above and fight our way to the ship. He just lets that linger in the air, and if, in fact, Mr. Callum could get us weapons, it seems much more likely even still. I present both these options to you. You all seem like a sharp bunch. I'd like to get your opinions on this matter.
One's a bit more straightforward than the other, but a lot bloodier.
A lot more
also.
dangerous.
I'm willing to hear your thoughts on the subject.
Well, truth be told, currently we don't know where the ship is harbored in the down below. We don't know what is potentially going on there. We know that there is potentially a fee to a nebulous king of some variety. If there's one undead, he might also be undead, and therefore an obstacle in our way to getting to that ship. And that's also probably where they're keeping the undead monstrosity in the barricade.
That's a good thought, Carmen. Spider, what are your thoughts? Callum.
Such a ridiculous situation.
He's like looming over you to make eye contact, but there's like a million little tiny eyes on a book. But you're being viewed respectfully.
If we were to take the boat, we'd have to kill the guards en route. I don't see any way around it.
I don't either. They're not going to want to let us leave.
Most of these guards neglect their training and can be easily removed non-lethally. At least by the warriors that I've grown up with. I assume you, and he points at Carmen, just just like generally like you and your cellmate are able to meet the task.
We could. The issue with that, well, is it an issue? They would, yes, I could.
Please do your best. I'm willing to spend them for you.
There's a pause.
Do we know, actually, Grace, do we know? We had to have gone, like, do we know how to get down to where the current guard boat is?
Well, you probably have some idea of where the Sally Port is. The person who has the best idea is going to be the person who's seen the map of the facility.
Yeah.
Who is among you right now?
How dusty is the table we're sitting at?
Quite. Well, actually, no. This one's less dusty because it seems that Gilt has been using this as a personal study area.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a pen or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Callum will, in spider form. Can one of you open the page of this book?
Yeah.
The first one.
Koloth will nod to Carmen.
Oh man, I'm sorry. My what is it? Immediate disagreeable nature just caught up there for a second. Carmen would open the book.
Just to like a blank, like kind of an interior like cover.
Sorry, I had to face the oppositional defiance sort of there for a minute.
It's like, it's
so
all
fair.
Can someone open this book? And the hobgoblin is like, you may.
And Callum will look in spider form at Gilt, and he will ask him to trace out his movements with his pen. And Callum will trace out from memory as best he can a rough outline of the map of the facility that he scanned/stole earlier. As near as I can tell, this is the clearest path to the Sally Port.
Alright. It's a little bit rough, but as you are going through the motions, Gilt seems to pick up on the shapes you're making, and you do get a fine kind of sketch of the location and what path to take to get to the Sally Port. Yeah, you've been a busy little spider, haven't you?
There's no other kind.
Very true. Now,
Question for you.
what were you gonna say?
Could you potentially do this with the outline to the pit? Could you scout it?
I could. There's an element of time that needs to be respected. I wouldn't want to be caught out, so to speak.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, I can probably get the weapons or scout the pit. Probably not both.
You know, my friend might be able to help with the pit scouting.
Do you think he'd... Yeah, if you think he'll be able to remember the way.
Here's the thought. Callum, leave one of your berries on the table. And I'll have my friend come pick it up tonight.
Very resourceful, Maya. In that case, Callum, you should definitely go to the armory.
You've never seen a spider nod before. You are seeing it for the first time now.
But
the berry will be in the supply closet over there, and he'll kind of gesture towards the makeshift shelter that he's been using all this time.
That will work. I trust you'll be able to speak with my friend. Yes?
I can.
There we are then.
This place will need to be alerted. How big are the ships that the enforcers use? Like, when we're brought over here, how large are they? Are they small, medium? I know the reason why I ask, right, is you said that the dwarven crafts would take a medium-sized crew.
They are medium.
Okay. So probably they would need and be able to carry less people, but still a number.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's been a while since I've dealt with different kinds of ships, but I'd say it's skipper-sized.
Yeah.
And on that note, Gilt turns to Maya and is like, oh, and by the way, so we said about paying homage to the king. Well, my experience and studies, I know that the dwarven folk to be a pretty literal people. I think it's best that we imagine that we take the paying homage as, well, what it's written on the tin. To literally pay homage, pay something.
A dwarf king?
Of course, it would be, well, you said that this was you did say this was a dwarven ancestor spirit, right, Mr. Koloth?
He like starts knocking on the table and then he's just, yes.
You're knocking on the table?
That should be acceptable. Yeah, it's just like clearly like an absent-minded like knocking.
Okay, you're trying to signal him.
He's like clearly thinking about something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's more like he's evaluating and taking a pick as he decides, all right, that's agreeable.
Right, well then.
Do you know what offerings are acceptable to these dwarves?
Well, I don't want to, I wouldn't want to speak for them, of course. But I'm saying literally, I would reckon some sort of monetary payment, see?
Well, that's going to be difficult.
How do you expect us to get that, Gil?
I don't think he does. That's just something we need to consider.
Right, so just to consider, well, he, kind of back his head looking uncomfortable. There will be plenty of chaos in the days to come.
Gil, question for you.
Of course,
you said
Carmen.
This place was previously a fortress. All of its prior inhabitants disappeared. In those maps of yours, did you find any areas where they could have had treasure? I don't know. Anything like that? Any potential secure areas? Anything that...
Well, I like where
it's
your
been
head's at,
years,
Carmen.
but
I could do a little bit of investigating on my own in the meantime and see if I can't muster something up.
if I was a dwarven king, I'd hide whatever riches I had.
Now, of course, granted, historically, this fortress was used as a sort of, well, it's a fortress, military, for military purposes, maybe not so much for storing wealth. But I
Fair enough, but the king
imagine
died
there's
here.
some sort of, perhaps, he kind of rubs his reverse on his chin, perhaps. Oh, and by the way, I am a little bit, well, of course, Mr. Edward couldn't be with us here today. It'd be remiss to not get him in on the plan, see? Is there any way we could, any of you looks
Oh, he'll
to
learn.
the Spyfighter, looks to the rest of you, he'll learn.
He'll
Maybe
learn.
we could pass away along these plans.
Oh, he'll learn. And you might get a visit.
A visit?
Yeah, I wasn't
By
lying when I
Mr.
said
Simon,
that he
perhaps?
could. No,
No.
at dinner.
Why are you being so coy, Carmen?
I'm not. It's just really weird. I wasn't lying when I said that he could listen in on thoughts.
Oh, is he listening in right now then?
No, but he's going to probably, now that I have told you, he's probably going to visit all of your minds.
A useful skill. He will not need updating on the decisions that have been made here.
I shall play Ranger Rick for him.
He never really went into detail about the nature of his magic. Said it was new to him.
Had something to do with his father?
Oh, did he sell to Carmen that? Trent?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And she does not understand it.
Yeah, he did. All right. Caleb, there would have been a lot of trauma dumping about that. And that cult. We had time, buddy.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should bring up, before we kind of finish up here, 277466. I think we could probably all agree that's probably somehow he's responsible for us sharing that dream.
He's trying to warn us, if I had a guess of it.
The implication here as well is that his powers are somehow similar to the other man who can use magic without...
Not in and of itself,
Yes.
no. There are casters who are capable of circumventing natural means of casting.
Dr. Zitaru, in her notes, specified that 277466 claimed to be the progenitor of a new kind of magic, a new branch.
Oh god, that's true magic, fucking through and through. Holy shit.
Her own notes, initially she dismissed this, but she's now making the argument that this is how he's able to circumvent the null gas. It doesn't account for him, this kind of magic.
What? That isn't...
I'm
It
not a
shouldn't be
scientist.
possible.
That's what she wrote down. Which is concerning.
It's better to assume that
Very.
they're correct for now.
I'm not... More and more oddities have been happening in these past few years. It is a concern, and it is something that should be treated delicately.
Well, for the record, I'm not leaving here without Edward, and I won't help you all get weapons unless that's on the table that we're getting him out of here as well.
He'll come. We're going to need other crewmen regardless.
We're going to have to get him. And
Well-
I can't go in that tower.
Shit.
That-
Well, it might be a brute force situation then,
That seems likely.
because they're not going to let you out.
Unless their gas stops working again.
That would be
Is that common,
fortuitous.
actually?
No. They pipe
Oh,
gas
right,
into
that
the
was the first
tower
time.
the entire day. All day, all night. It's
It
constantly.
could just be... It could just be that they're running out. It is a limited supply. If they're running low on food, they're probably running low on gas.
Ah,
Couldn't tell you.
things will get bad very soon.
Yes.
Yes. What are our next steps then?
Speaking of which, do you fellows have any idea of when, well, maybe, we can expect for things to go down?
Well,
Isn't there some kind of holiday coming up?
the Longinoct. Longinoct? Say that again for me, Grace. I'm sorry.
Longinoct.
Longinoct.
It's one hell of a coincidence.
the darkest time of the year, when her light is stifled.
What is it?
2 days from now, I think.
Tomorrow.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tomorrow.
The moon won't be.
There's not a lot of time to prepare.
No.
No.
God, the Soror is going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, she's here today.
No, she's still probably going to be here tomorrow,
Oh, yeah,
though.
absolutely. She's holding a service tomorrow night.
Service
Carmen.
mandatory.
Jesus Christ.
Her religious duties.
Right. There's a moment where it's like, oh yeah, when is this going to happen? And like, nom flashbacks on Carmen's face as it just goes completely stony. It's likely to happen tomorrow.
I'm not entirely familiar with the trappings of this holiday, so I trust you to update me.
It is the longest night. It is when the light of Goldra is extinguished, or at least stifled. It is thought to be a time when, well, pyres need to be lit for a reason. There are thoughts.
You're referring to the spirits.
Potentially, especially in a place like this. Especially in a place where spirits are already haunting.
Haunting? No, they're here to help us. They wouldn't hang around for any other reason. They take their duties quite seriously, even speaking to one of my kind.
It's
I
difficult to
don't
interpret.
think he was aware that you weren't a dwarf.
I find that disrespectful to their sacrifice.
Find it what you will.
We should
will-
presume to understand the motives of the dead.
No. No. It is. I don't know if it will happen tomorrow night, but it is likely it will. And we need to prepare, in case.
Oh, so,
We'll see about weapons then.
if it is to be tomorrow, I would like to propose my question again. Which path would you all like to take? Would you want to attempt to escape below, or the direct route? And I'm gonna be forthright that Gilt is talking on my behalf right now. Which
Valid.
path do you guys want to take?
Well, we have more of a chance of saving others if we go down below. But we don't know the toll, and we don't have anything to pay for it. If there is going to be a full-blown infestation, unleashing of the undead, the church needs to know. They're the only ones who are going to be able to take care of it. So we need the quickest route. Because the guards and the prisoners weren't able to fix anything. That's what we saw in our dream.
Well, I think they'll know when this place falls and the first supply ship that comes back sees a bunch of dead milling around.
Let's pray that doesn't happen.
It's probably going to happen.
Then let's pray that we can warn them before it does. Quickness is what we need right now, I'm pretty sure.
Then you want to fight.
If that is the most direct route.
It's the known
And-
path.
I'm going to be honest with you for a moment. They might try to take the prisoner of interest with them. Unless they want the doctor to stay here. She's here for a reason, studying something. I doubt she's going to want to leave him.
She's studying him specifically.
Hmm.
She mentioned to the warden that none of the other magical prisoners were as interesting.
Even so, we are going to need to go get Edward. So, we can also pick up the Dreamer on our way out, if need be.
So we're fighting then.
I'm inclined
If you
to.
can find us weapons.
I think this is good.
And,
Oh, go ahead.
Callum, if there's any way you could, get me a gun, I'd really appreciate that.
I've only just met you, but all right. Takes the measure of this half-elf before him.
That's desperate times, Mr. Callum. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Any items you can find would be appreciated.
I won't know what they've got in there until I get in there, but I'll try and grab something for everybody.
And we will need to find allies. Or at least there's a pause. People who need to be saved.
I may be able to reach Randall's people.
What?
Why would you want to?
Why?
Do they need to be saved?
He looks at
Oh.
both of you like you're idiots for a moment. Just like, what? Like, well, they're people, and I think they'll listen.
They'll listen to you. After yesterday?
Especially after yesterday. They value physical strength.
The others value physical strength. Those just want to kill people like you.
They can kill me outside the prison.
Fair enough. Such as it is.
We benefit directly from not allowing them to be consumed by the large creature in our dream.
I'll agree to that.
They benefit directly from my guidance. Because of that, I think we would all benefit from me reaching out.
Sure.
If you think you
Sure,
can bring
Hob.
them into play, fine.
Yeah.
Might as well
Carmen,
attempt. I know. You're going to say it.
You know. Yeah.
I know.
But it's been pretty quiet, and she's normally
Did we
much louder.
see Gruel at
Creed,
sorry, at breakfast?
Her name is Gulum Creed, so it's easy, yeah. That's fair enough. No. No, she was not in a good way when she was at last, detained.
Right, so she might actually be in the medical wing.
Mm-hmm.
she was in the pit.
She was. But she might now be in the medical wing. Shit. Oh. We can try to get there, or I can try to talk to her second. That's going to be a
You can ask
situation.
Simon when he visits tonight.
Oh, if he can find her.
Well, he knows where she was, in the pit. Told him to avoid that room.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, she'd eat him.
That's probably no comment.
Alright, so I think this is a good time to take a break. However, I would like you guys to converse if you need to come to consensus on what plan you want.
All right.
I know that you guys didn't commit to the plan of smelling and handing out to Edward, but I'm willing to retroact it, like a retcon that if you guys still want to try to do that. Now.
Well, so I think we can actually get, when we go to dinner, if he gets to Carmen's brain, then he can then just start popping over to other people's brains to collect.
We talked about how he can just get updated without having to.
Well, the problem with that's the 3-minute timer.
Well, yeah, he can then jump to another person's brain.
Well, or I can re-up it. The timer is only a problem when I'm pulled away from that 30 feet limit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's funny because like it's like, oh, he'll just be updated, and then we moved on, right? We didn't.
Oh no, look, it's completely fine. And the thing is, like Edward is gonna go along with like a fair few things. One, he's emboldened because like he still feels that the dream is something that is going to happen no matter what. Obviously, some changes can be made because we are equipped with this foreknowledge. But for one reason or another, Caleb's going to be equipped with that branch. Guess what? He got the branch.
Hell yeah! You got
I'm gonna have the book, and
he's branching out.
Yeah. That freaky half elf is gonna have a knife.
That's so rude.
I think the current plan is Callum is going to get materials.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to go the more direct route, which is to the present day guard skiff.
Yeah.
We are going to attempt to recruit others because we're going to need it. We are going to attempt to locate and release Edward and potentially the special prisoner to come with us.
Speaking of Edward, while everyone is like having this meeting, he is going to try to push the limits of his mind reading ability. He's going to try to get into contact with this person whom he personally suspects is a practitioner of the true magic.
So, as you all keep that in mind, going forward, we are going to take the camera to... Alright, I'm going to shift the music.
Ooh.
As we shift the camera.
Oh God, no! I know this music.
Tower.
No.
The anti-arcane ward, where Edward has been left alone to ponder at what his comrades are discussing without him in the library. To wonder when he will get an update on the information. Wonder when he will learn more about this mysterious prisoner 277466. And that was when Edward decided to attempt to experiment with his abilities once more. Yeah, says Trent poses his fingers to his temples. Trent. Anyone who's familiar with the Great Old One patron warlock will know that there's limitations on this ability. Normally. However, with the way that psionic magic works in the setting, and perhaps because of other reasons, things might get a little bit weird.
Mm.
I would like you to make a spellcasting check with your spellcasting modifier, which for you is your charisma.
Yes. All right. We can certainly attempt that. We're gonna do a charisma check, and you know what? I won't say anything. I rolled a 17, and I'm very confident in this.
So 17 on the die, but with your charisma, you roll a saving throw. So minus the 2, but it's plus 3.
Yeah.
Which is still a round 20, a not unnatural 20. Which is just a good roll. So you focus on that strange, kind of tickling, scratchy sensation, almost like if static on a radio had a sense, had a touch. That's what it feels like in your mind as you're reaching for that sensation. You isolate it alone in your cell. You isolate it on that feeling. Then you expand it outward from yourself. As you're reaching out and out and out, it's almost slightly painful what you're doing. This expansion of this thing inside yourself, like stretching a muscle farther than it's used to going. As you reach outward, then up. As you understand, this prisoner, this unnamed prisoner, is high up in the tower above you, in the highest room. To try and get a sense for this person, is there any message that you're trying to pass along as you do this?
It's very cursory. It's just, I am Edward, son of Flick. Who are you? Are you a practitioner of true magic?
Edward, it hurts stretching up and up and up further than you feel like you're meant to go with this ability that you've just discovered, but you're focused. And as you reach for it, almost as you're ready to give up, you feel as if something is touching you back. First it's just a tickle, then slowly it opens up and becomes a flood, filling you, flooding your mind. And as you do so, I would like you to make a charisma saving throw.
I'm going to spend a point of lucky to give myself advantage on this. Well, let me double check. So we got lucky. Lucky allows me. You roll a d20. You can spend 1 luck point to give yourself advantage on this test. All right, I'm going to spend a point of lucky.
Okay.
One of my 2 points. So I will make this charisma saving throw with advantage. All right, charisma saving throw with advantage.
All right, a 2.
Jesus
and
Christ.
A 7. This thing, you feel like there's this shield, this thing that bounding you off of it, and as you do so, there's this lashback of energy as it pierces through your mind. This you almost like this nails on chalkboard screeching thing as you're taking 13 points of psychic damage.
Fucking Christ, holy shit, that hurts so much.
However, as you are rebounded back, as you are rebuffed, you get this sensation that is altogether familiar to you. The sensation that you know that you felt it before. This presence, you felt this before when you were a young man. It's been years, but it's almost nostalgic as you feel the sensation. And you get this impression as your mind gets rebuffed and you kind of pull back. It's not like words, but almost like a demand. This demand. Come to me.
Oh no.
And Edward, you feel like warm trickle down your left ear. You touch it. You pull back, you see a spot of blood.
This is concerning. Very concerning.
And as you're pondering that, you hear from across the way, "Oh, Edward! Everything alright?"
Yes, I was getting a feel for my own capabilities and tell me, old man, what do you know about that special prisoner? One kept under lock and key. The one that is not able to join us for breakfast.
Your abilities. I told you not to mess around with that.
A weakness of my age, I suppose. I felt necessary to extend, to explore. I felt something. I'll admit this to you. I felt something from him.
What?
Powerful repulsion.
You... From who?
The prisoner. The one who's locked away. He has his own private suite.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that! I ever heard that the prisoner sent some guards to the hospital.
I can certainly see why. However, I am... Perhaps the only reason I'm still standing, still able to talk, think, is because I have been touched with a similar ability, a similar gift. This confirms it, I feel. He has been equipped with flicks, magic. The true magic.
True. Like, as your old man?
My father, yes. I feel that he's a practitioner and a skilled one at that.
Your pops, Charles Flick. He said he could read minds too. I guess it runs in the family. He also said he could also blend spoons. Can you do that?
Blend spoons? I have not tried. Perhaps in time I can, but that is not something, a gift a particular talent I'm eager to explore. I'm grappling with what I'm capable of, grappling with what I can do. It is all new to me, but what I felt before an ever open field of exploration, against that, I met a wall.
I'm not sure what you mean there, Sonny.
What I mean is, we've all heard tales from this individual, right? His abilities that the no gas is not able to contain. I've tested it myself. Perhaps it is an inferior version of it, but the old man would feel Edward's words in his mind. This ignores that limitation.
Yes, we did thinks that he kind of like very like looks at you very like overly intensely. We talked about that last night. Yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm still getting a grasp for it. Well, the prisoner is, if he's a member of the members of Flick, the followers of Flick, he is far more gifted than I in this ability, as he was able to grasp me, find me, and throw me, reeling from his presence. But there is a familiarity there. It's no wonder the gas does not affect him, because he does not use magic as they understand it, as you understand it, old man.
Oh, well, I must admit that there's nothing like this that we studied at the academy at all. Well,
No. It was taught in basement cellars of socialites. It was a cult. It should not be real, but it is. It should not be real, but it is. I don't understand it, but I try to reach him. I try to speak with him. I try to reach out because I had suspicions about the origins of his magic, and they were proven true.
well, Sonny, you think that he was from that cult?
I see a cult or some form of it. It is far too familiar. I felt that what I touched, what I saw, what I heard, it was stained in that approach to magic.
He's sitting on his small bed, looking at you through the bars from across the room. I thought I knew about magic. Well, what I do know is that the magic that us mortals are, us people on this world, we have our limits. Sometimes there are people who, well, they reach beyond, outside, to forces beyond our ken, and sorry, it's been so long since university. Some cases there are people who borrow magic outside of what they should be capable of.
External forces make sense. Makes complete sense. Is there any known record of those, the magic of those from that get abilities from the outside?
Oh, well, no, not in the university. There were some records of how to, well, find those entities, but they're, he kind of stands up, kind of like shakily, walks to the bars, holds it. Let's see, how do I do this? He like very animatedly kind of puts his like hands on his temples to think that supposed to be done. It's been hidden. It's a secret. They keep it away from other people outside of the schools. They're locked away.
Locked away. Secreted. But what should have been locked away has been brandished, celebrated by my father and his fellowship. I put a lot of import on your input, your knowledge. You are, well, I'm not sure how you may feel about this, but you're the closest thing I have to a mentor. Closest thing I have to a friend outside of Caleb. In these bars, in this prison. I saw something when I grasped the book of my father, the book of Flick, the true magic. I saw something, entities. They spoke to me in words I could understand, words that still haunt me, words that still enter my mind even now. And I feel is through this connection, this meeting, that I am able to do what I'm able to do. And in turn, I feel these entities are responsible for the prisoner and what he is able to do.
He starts to try to, project thoughts back at you. Listen here, Sonny Jim. What you've experienced never tells anybody who's with the church. It'll land you in a whole mess of trouble, that will.
I imagine a word is unorthodox, radical, dangerous, different. I will keep that in mind should I escape these bonds, these binds, this prison. But what I'm capable of, what I've seen, this prisoner is far more capable. And he's seen what I've seen and more.
Is that what you're looking for there to escape? You said something bad was going to happen. Undead.
Something bad. And he's going to, with this connection, give him brief visions of what he saw.
He staggers, holding the bar. Oh, it's horrible.
It is. And in that moment, and it is fleeting. It is not all telling, but it is fleeting. I did not see you. However, I am hoping, praying, and I will try to see that you make it through. After all, rid of the gas. You are the best of all of us.
Oh, well, no. I didn't mean to mislead you. Compared to the things you've been talking about, what I can do is like parlor tricks. I don't even have material components to, well, if there was no gas.
He pauses, he posits. You don't always need internal components, right? Foci.
It's true. It's true. Some things can. Oh, it's been so long. Oh, since I've. Well, I'm a classical scholar there, Edward. I used to write my spells down in a book, which I don't have.
You don't have, but you have something, a remnant of memory. I have allies, I have friends. If you are able to procure a foci, if you have a preference, if you have something you need, divulge that to me, and I will see what I can do. Despite what I've seen, despite what I've experienced in this, I do not want you to fall victim to this.
I've already told you this, son, but I'll tell it to you again. If the worst thing happens, I'm an old man, and I've already had my chance, and I squandered it. I spent everything I had on it. I lived a full life. I played every card I've had. If it comes down to it, don't worry too much about me. Save yourself. And you have some friends here. Save them.
And I've dealt with a lot of hands. Some bad, some good. I think what you squandered, what you've wasted, can be reused, can be respent, can be made something better.
Huh. Well, it's a nice thought. Yes. Another go at it again. Ain't that a nice thought, he says, and he kind of works his way back to his bed and shakily sits himself back down on the thin mattress. Yes. Alright. And with that, we will transition away from the North Tower where the mages are held. There is one more thing that I'd like to address before we end the session. Carmen, as you finish your you're muted. Yeah, as you finish your library session.
Yeah.
As you go to get escorted back to your cell, guard approaches you and says, Carmen Traveler, you requested services of the chaplain. The guard makes a gesture with their head. She's ready for you.
Thank you. And she will follow / be taken there.
You will be escorted up to the chapel, a space that you're familiar with. You've been here plenty of times before. Due to the constraints of the facility, prisoners cannot visit the chapel too regularly. It's usually by request to ask for last rites, for confessions, or for ceremonies on holy days. And as Soror Patience, her visits have become less and less frequent. She's an old lady who is kind of reaching the end of her service to the church now. In her later years, she makes it known when she is expecting or is open to confessions from prisoners, as this is often her greatest priority that you know of, is the duty that she is most committed to as the chaplain who serves Morgato. There are many, people who are condemned to live out the rest of their lives in prison for sins that they have committed are sent. Today is one such day where she has arrived and is taking confessions.
And much like the other days where she has made herself available, Carmen would go.
And so...
And she has
Oh, go ahead.
and she has been tense, but even as they walk, even despite the forewarnings that we have been given via guilt and via the dream in and of itself, at least some of the tenseness starts to abate.
Tenseness abates. You are entering something that is very familiar to you. The ceremony, the rites, the prayers. The space that has been created solely for the purpose of serving her, the Sun Empress, Goldra. The guard escorts you to the entrance to the chapel. The door opens, and you enter what is a relatively small space. Perhaps it once served as a bedchamber for the original inhabitants of this facility. There are very minimalistic benches situated around a small podium. But behind the podium, there are screened panels sectioning off another corner of the room. And each of these panels is displaying murals from the Empress pantheon of different deities. Now from behind it rolls a trail of incense as you breathe in that nice, heady, familiar scent of sage grass. The smoke is caught in the sunlight that's pouring from two large barred windows, probably situated there to capture as much as Goldra's light as possible. And as you enter, the doors close shut behind you, a crackly, familiar voice calls out, "Ah, come, child. I am here. I am here for what confessions are needed."
And there's a pause. And Carmen very rarely smiles here. There's the occasional laugh that is drawn from Maya, but it's a rare thing. And she would walk to where the Soror Patience has been situated. And as she does, she would go to the location that we tend to go to. I don't know, would Goldra have pews or of that sake?
So there are, but from the back end, the voice is coming from behind the partition.
Okay. And so Carmen would sit and would say, "In the name of the Golden Mother, her stalwart consort, and her blessed son, it has been..." There's a pause. 73 nights since my last supplication, and I find myself wanting of your guidance, Soror.
Then let the Sun Empress cleanse your soul in her full holy flames, so that you may be pure again.
And there's a moment where she just sits, because we haven't had the chance today to actually go outside. We haven't had the chance to actually stay and sit in the sunlight. And she would wait for a moment before she speaks. I have been having nightmares again. They aren't even all of her anymore. Not all of them. Now they're of monstrosities and creatures abound, great and terrible. A beast with gaping maw and church bells in my ear. And it's all I can do not to choke. And I hate this powerlessness. And I don't know what to do.
These are new visions, are they not, child?
Visions, dreams. I am so tired of night terrors and dreams. And I feel that itch that is telling me that I need to prepare, and I hate it. And I am afraid of what is to come.
Let me ask you, daughter of the Sun Empress, do you believe these visions to be sent by Goldra or by another?
There's a pause. No, these nightmares are... No, these are not hers. It can't be hers. Can they?
Only the light in your soul that is granted by her can answer this true. I can answer it for you, I am afraid.
There's a pause. Perhaps. I heard bells in my last dream. That, at least, I hope was hers.
Tell me of it.
I died.
As do we all. Shed this mortal coil, so that we might join the celestial battle against the forces of chaos at her side.
And what if there is darkness here, Soror, that needs to be taken into account?
Oh, I do believe there is a great darkness here, it's true. As I come here as a humble servant to shed a light on it.
I am afraid of what the future holds. And this is going to be one of the first years where I won't see a pyre tomorrow night.
You won't
It's
be
funny.
attending the ceremony? There's actually a note of maybe superficial, but there's no of hurt there. Or she's familiar with you, Carmen.
I want to. But I don't know if I will be able to. Sora. Might I be granted the ability to light a candle or anything?
My child, the things that you fear, now is the time. Write them on the prayer ribbons, and we will burn them together in Goldra's light. You know, on the dais there is a bowl of prayer ribbons. In this case, they are strips of parchment and a pen with which you could write upon.
You are too kind to me. To all of us. And Carmen would rise and would write. And on it, she would write, I fear what the long night might hold for us, what darkness might linger in the depths of these ruins. I don't know how to prepare. I don't know how to save as many souls as I can. Show me a way to save as many as I am able, if I am able. And she would fold the scrap of paper and would place it to where she knows it is supposed to go, so that the Soror can light the fire.
Soror Patience says, your confession and prayer has been received.
Thank you. And I hope to see you in tomorrow's evening.
My child, Carmen, she says,
Sora?
I do not know what darkness you see yourself walking in, but I know that you are one of Goldra's own. I will be praying for you, that her light follows you into it. I will... There's a long pause. As I keep this candle lit throughout the longest night, I will see in the flames, or try to see what lies in store for you. I must be truthful in that my time is waning thin, and I've been eagerly waiting my time to walk by Goldra in the heavens and help her in her endless fight against the forces of chaos. But you, some time on this world.
Just a pause before she says, are one of the kindest sisters I have met. Thank you. There's a pause. You have made this place bearable.
Thank you. Thank you, child. Carmen. Whatever sins
Sorry.
have placed you here, I know that you've atoned for them thrice over. Do not let them weigh you down. She reaches across the interior. She's holding a rosary of white and gold beads. At the end of it is a small sunburst.
Sister?
Please take this.
There's a pause before, gently, she would take the beads. And she would sigh and would move and press her hand to the wrinkled, or would press her forehead to the wrinkled hand that is outreached, and would say, I find myself pondering more and more on the concept of redemption. Your words have always given me hope.
Well,
Thank you.
my child, I have something to confess as well. When I shed my mortal coil, I do not know who will take my place. There are few left who would accept these duties. So I would like you to know this. To serve Our Lady Goldra is to serve those not already in the light, but those who are trapped in the darkness. Serve those who have fallen, who have lost their hope, who have been abandoned by others. I wish you to remember this as you walk your own path of redemption to help others find theirs.
I will try. As much as I am... There's another pause. As much as I am able, I will try. To limit what suffering I can.
Well,
We're
that's
not
up
really
to your
used to redemption,
interpretation.
but the Soror is saying redemption. We're not used to this, but
Soror rocks. Give her some credit. She's been lovely.
hey, no, I'm not saying she doesn't. But
it's for
yes,
everybody else.
Carmen
You're good.
would, with that, place the rosary around her neck and would once more take just a moment to take in what sunlight there is as it starts to fade to night.
And Carmen, as you place that rosary on your neck, you feel this surge of warmth inside your chest. This tiny mote of hope sparks inside of you. It feels more powerful than the rosary you've held on to, the one that they allotted you in the prison. Strong. Like it holds the force of will and the light that you've been carrying outside of this facility. And Carmen, you can use this rosary. If you were to cast miraculous spells with it.
Ho ho. Let's go.
And that is where I think we could safely end tonight's session.
Yeah. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate you for putting me back on my Catholic bullshit.
You're always welcome, Bird.
It's all about the guilt.
And that concludes this session of Arkenmore. Tune in next week as we near the end of the Morgato arc. Thank you all for listening.